comic book haul for January 2021. Hey everyone, it's VM Campos, comic book fan. Welcome to another monthly comic book haul and giveaway. This is the series where I show you the comic books that I picked up at the end of the month. Plus we have a cool giveaway, no purchase necessary, just watch the video to know when the giveaway is. But in the meantime, let's get started with the comics. So we'll start off with Marvel Comics. Here I've got Black Cat number 2, Legacy number 14. And this is the Peach Momoko variant, so I'm still on the Peach Momoko trip. I'm still enjoying all of her art in 2021. Very cool, evocative art that she creates. Here we've got Marvel mashing up with Aliens. This is the Versus Alien variant, because Marvel now owns the license to Aliens after they wrested it away from Dark Horse, who had it for like 30 years. Now Marvel has it, and what did they do with it? They put the xenomorphs on the cover on a bunch of their Marvel characters. So I picked this one up because it's got a really cool Peach Momoko cover art. Variant cover, Black Cat number 2. Next up I got Daredevil number 25. No, not the first print that flew off the shelves and suddenly was worth so much because of some revelation, which is spoiled on the cover here of the second print. So Elektra becomes Daredevil, and here she is in her outfit. Looks actually really cool. I like the black and the red of it, and her hair, and the little Daredevil mask and everything. So what legacy number is this one anyway? It's got 25 here, but it doesn't say what legacy number. Anyway, this was a super hot issue, first printing. If you got it in your pull box, you got it. I wasn't able to get it. I'm not reading Daredevil. But I asked the comic shop to reserve a copy of the second printing for me, you know, for all that good spec value. So yeah, Daredevil 25, second printing, the Elektra Devil cover. Alright, here's another one that if you had it in your pull list, you were very happy when this debuted. King in Black, Gwenom versus Carnage. This is the plain old cover. The one that is the big bucks is one of the variants with an amazing rendition of Spider-Gwen. This is the regular one, but that other one was already worth $100 at the comic shop. If you didn't have it reserved in your pull box, you had to pay $100 at the shop or some amount on eBay. But anyway, I picked it up here. There is some big revelations at the end of the book of who Gwenom is battling as Carnage. Now they keep going back and forth. They were calling her Gwenom first, and then Ghost Spider, and now they're back to Gwenom, so I don't know what the her main title is anymore. But it's a really interesting story. It ties into the King in Black stuff. Shocking revelations, which you probably already know what they are, but no spoilers. And this is the regular cover, not the one that's worth the big bucks, but I think it's worth some amount. Anyway, Gwenom versus Carnage number 1. Are we picking up Future State? I am picking up every single Future State book, actually. I'm not going to show them all. They're all on the pile over there. I'll just show a few of these over here. So I got the regular cover for Catwoman, the return of Kevin Smith's onomatopoeia character, the character that speaks in sound effects. Pretty cool introduction of him. An even more shocking final page. So it's Catwoman in the not too distant future. She's here on a train where she has to acquire something, let's say, and she runs into onomatopoeia. Oops, that was kind of a little bit of a spoiler, but I won't reveal the final spoiler of the final page, which is freaking epic. But I love this neon, future punk, Blade Runner style of things. Futuristic Catwoman. She actually got a little tail in her outfit because her whip retracts up her butt, I guess, like a cat. And yep, it's one of the many Future State books coming out, such as Teen Titans Future State number 1. So it's the Teen Titans of the future. Again, not too distant future. Crush is still in the Teen Titans, Nightwing, etc. There's an interesting revelation here on the cover, which I won't give away, but you might already know that also on the last page of this, people are talking about what the final page of this new Teen Titans is, and going back to the earlier issue where that character first appeared, so I won't reveal that one. But I enjoyed the Teen Titans with Crush. It just recently ended, which I didn't love the ending. But I guess this is a slightly in the future Teen Titans. for the future state. It's what, like 2 or 4 issues or so. So it's a small read that you might want to pick up. And lastly, in DC, I got the Peach Momoko Future State Immortal Wonder Woman #1. There's Wonder Woman of the future. You can tell because she's got gray hair. But it's the Peach Momoko variant cover. So she does art for basically all the companies, Marvel, DC, everyone. So here's a very cool... I wish it was a wraparound cover. It's just this front and then it's cut off and that's it. It would have been cool if it was the rest and a two-page full wraparound cover, but it's just the front cover, but very cool nonetheless. Moving over to Image Comics, I picked up Philadelphia #12. I got the first issue. I thought it was interesting, but I have not kept up with the series, but I wanted this cover because it's a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. I always love his artwork. He's always got this very cool style. I loved it way back when I saw it on the Mad Dog Ward, the Life in the Mad Dog Ward storyline in Spider-Man back in 1987. I've been hooked ever since. He's been around in the world of comics for a long time. He has his own whole freaking booth at San Diego Comic-Con. I wanted to get this cover. Very scary, simple in a way, but very evocative. I picked up the Todd McFarlane variant cover for crossover #3, Donny Cates' latest book, with all of these various characters coming together into this semi-fictional world of things. I like the reveal of a certain man who might be mad at things in the final pages. And so we've got Spawn hanging out with the main character, and they're doing this sort of this repeating cover within a cover and all of that in the secret covers. Did I get the secret cover? I don't know. But anyway, there's Spawn hanging out with the character. So variant cover for crossover #3. And the last Image book that I picked up was The Department of Truth #1, 3rd printing. So Super Heart series by James Tiny Onion IV. Very enjoyable series. I'm loving it a lot. The first issue was tremendous. I think I got first issue, second print. I talked about it on a previous episode. First print, second print, I don't remember what printing I got. But then here's the 3rd printing because of the spec value of it all, and maybe there's some extra hidden stuff in the subsequent printings that aren't in the first few printings. I also picked up 2 and 3 while I was at the shop, but here's issue #1, 3rd printing. Totally get this book if you're into like the X-Files and such. At Dark Horse, I'm picking up Stranger Things and Dungeons & Dragons. This is 3 of 4, co-published, sort of, by Dark Horse and IDW. Dark Horse has the license to Stranger Things. IDW has the license to Dungeons & Dragons from Wizards of the Coast. And I've been picking up this variant cover where it shows the characters from the show, plus their characters in the D&D world. I've been loving these covers so much. This is 3 out of 4. I can't wait to get the 4th one. The story's been pretty cool. It's a prequel to what has happened on the show of season 1 and their friendship of how they bonded coming together over Dungeons & Dragons. Also at Dark Horse, I picked up this Overwatch Tracer London Calling. So I got the GGDG cover, variant cover. Interior art is by Babs Tarr, story by Marika Tamaki. So I love Babs Tarr's work. It's so cute, so cartoony. I love it. That's the interior art. And this cover art, I also like it a lot by this artist GGDG. I don't think I am familiar with any of their work, but I like also this cool style of it all. And the story is fun, especially if you've ever played Overwatch, which I never have, but the story is fun anyway. All right, let's pause for the cause. We are going to talk about the giveaway, no purchase necessary. So what you need to do is head on over to my website, vmcompost.com, click on the blog, and there will be a blog post there all about this particular comic haul, and the full instructions will be revealed on how you can enter the monthly giveaway to win some cool comics straight from me in appreciation for you enjoying all my work about comics. So why am I holding this Betty and Veronica Jumbo Comics #1? No reason. I needed something to hold on to while I talk about the contest. So head on over to vmcompost.com, my website, click on the link for the blog. There will be an article there about this haul and the how to win. So enter it, no purchase necessary, and hope you win. Good luck. Next up at IDW, I'm picking up the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ongoing series. It's 113 issues now. A lot of changes have been happening with the turtles. Here we have the Turtle of the Future, Lita, and then the whole Mutant Town storyline. So I often mention that there aren't really any furry comics anymore like there were in the 80s and 90s, but I'm totally wrong because the Ninja Turtles has been so furry-fied for so many years. Very cool interior art. It's the writer and the artist both doing the comics. There's the regular cover. Eastman did one of the variant covers. Wasn't able to pick that up, but a very cool cover with a monochromatic, but with some cool purple-pink energy. Moving over to Boom, I picked up Mighty Morphin, #1. Third printing. So the Power Rangers have been really big for Boom Studios, so much that Image is publishing their own version of it, Radiant Black. And so here we have to the third printing. A company like Boom Studios doesn't do subsequent printings like the big two. So from a story point of view, this is the starting point, but from a collector, investor, spec person, this is a third printing of this hot series, which then I also got Power Rangers #1. So it's Mighty Morphin and Power Rangers, two series that debuted at the same time with these #1s in this interesting storyline. I really... Power Rangers to me was like the goofy thing in the 90s. Haven't followed it for a long time, but I know that Boom has been having a lot of success with it. And this is another third printing. So issue #1, third printing of both of the recent Mighty Morphin Power Ranger series from Boom Studios. And also another brand new series here is Abbott 1973. Beautiful variant cover. I love this style so very much. Interior art is nothing like this, but this is a very cool cover that really stands out. It's about magic and corruption in Detroit. This cover's got to go on my wall. If you watch my videos where I reveal the comics coming soon, or the comics out this week, I always talk about getting the cosplay variant covers, so I practice what I preach. Here's Red Sonja, the Superpowers #1, cosplay variant cover, and as we can see, it is very true to the Red Sonja personality. Red hair, chainmail bikini, really big weapons, and out in the woods and so forth, the Hikernian forests, I would say. So I picked this one up, as well as the Vampirella variant cover. So it's really cool when cosplayers can bring to life the creations in the comics very faithfully. And yep, the costumes came out very well. I would, however, have photoshopped out that tattoo. Vampirella does not have a tattoo. Epic fail. But yep, both of these cosplay covers from Dynamite. Over at Aftershock, here's a brand new series. This is really cool. This is Scout's Honor #1, and this is happening 300 years after the end of the world, basically, and the remnants of humanity abide by the teachings of the scouts. They're like the Girl Scouts, the Boy Scouts. The world has ended, but the teachings of the scouts live on in this post-apocalyptic tale. The main character trying to survive in this wasteland full of marauders and so forth. But as long as you follow the manual, you'll be okay, such as a scout must always be prepared, a scout always practices mercy, and the like. It's from Aftershock. Over at Ablaze, I'm picking up the Frost Giant's Daughter. This is issue #2, one of the variant covers. This is by Robin Recht. So the very first issue, we have Conan battling a bunch of berserkers, him killing them all, and while it's happening, the Frost Giant's Daughter is watching him. Then issue #2, she appears to him, and issue #2 is full of so much fan service, so much nudity, and she basically puts Conan in his place, overpowers him, beguiles him, puts him into fits of rage, but she still holds her own against him. And this is issue #2. I'm not sure how many issues it is, probably 3 or 4 or so. A lot of variant covers. I picked up this one. I thought it was very cool of the red contrasting with the white tundra and so forth, although if I see over here, this sort of thing in the background over here, this branch or whatever this is, kind of gets in the way in a weird way behind the Frost Giant's Daughter. But that can be forgiven because of many other attributes to this cover and the comic. Next up, over at American Mythology Productions, I think they just celebrated their 5th anniversary. Here is a brand new horror anthology, American Mythology Monsters, the American Mythology Productions House of Horrors. So this is really cool. I like anthology series. These are comics that are just not found as much as before. You usually have a comic book that is a complete story in one, and you need to have so much backstory and previous issues to keep up. This is an anthology, which is going to be short stories from issue to issue, 3 or 4 of them. Interior art is in black and white, so it really feels like the classic EC Comics or Eerie Comics, creepy and so forth from back in the day. I got the variant cover, which does show everything, so here we have Captain America saving us from that. And I'm glad, because you do see everything. So it's a great anthology horror series from American Mythology Productions for mature readers. Over at AWA Upshot, what does it stand for again? American Writers and Artists, and artists, writers and artisans, I think, something like that. Upshot is one of 5 Man's World. It's this great sort of like 70s sci-fi movie poster. Yes, it's printed that the corners all folded and messed up. Vaguely reminds me of Logan's Run or whatever sort of sci-fi movie of the 70s. Basically, it takes place in the future. People go to like a recreational planet, but things go awry. This planet has its own law, and they just broke it. It's a sci-fi story. It's from AWA, and it's mature. Remember Tarna from the Heavy Metal movie? Well, she's back in a new Heavy Metal comic. We've got Tarna, #1, The Last Tarkanian. Tarakian. Yeah, that's it. The Last Tarakian. Very cool cover. Interior art is pretty on par. Very luminous and bright. Lots of action. A little bit of nudity in this. Seeing the house ads of this definitely gives me the impression of the target audience for heavy metal compared to the other comics house ads that I might see here. So this is issue #1 of the series. Not sure how many issues it is, but pretty enjoyable so far. This one's hilarious. Space Bastards, #1. This is from Humanoids. So this is a European publisher, and it's basically the post office meets Lobo. We've got the Nebushi delivery boy with his new partner, who's like the Lobo tough guy biker sort of thing, and they both have to deliver stuff. Hilarity ensues, violence ensues. It has a very European flair to it all. After all, it does come from Humanoids. So Space Bastards #1. And lastly, we've got I Walk with Monsters #2 from Vault. So I read the first issue. It was very enjoyable. You've got the 2 main characters. She, the protagonist, has some trauma in her childhood, and now she's kind of out for revenge with her companion, who turns into a monster to do the dirty work. And here things continue about the past catching up with them, and what are they doing nowadays with their violent antics. Several variant covers. I like this one, the purples and the reds, plus the shadows, and I like that in the shadows you've got all of these teeth and eyes like the monsters that are within the story. Actually, that's not all, because I have a couple of other books. Now, you've got to, of course, watch my various videos about comics to pick up, because then you will know to get the comic books that are hot, such as Haha #1 from Image Comics. I talked about this in my various comic videos, and wouldn't you know it, this series is through the roof now in value. Everyone wants this. From the creator of Ice Cream Man, another series that everyone's in love with. I have here Haha #1, cover B, and this is a hot series. It's another horror series, this one with clowns instead of ice cream people. Vignettes of horror. Beautiful cover with these rainbow tones and everything, and the blood-covered clown. So yep, got my own copy right here, totally encased right here in the top loader. I'm glad I listened to my own advice, and you should too. Because if you did, you would have also picked up Star Wars, The High Republic #1 from Marvel Comics. So here's another comic that has been totally hot, flew off the shelves, going into second printing. This is happening hundreds of years before the Skywalker saga. New characters, new adventures, new ships, new evil. And he's issue number 1, covered by Phil Noto. There's a variety of variant covers, one with Yoda and so forth. Here's the plain old Phil Noto cover, but still pretty valuable, pretty important in the whole world of Star Wars. It's a whole multimedia empire. Comic books, novels, video games, and everything in between. And if you had followed my advice and watched my weekly shows, I would have told you there's still one more day, final order cutoff. Don't forget to get this comic. It's coming before it sells out, and you have to pay outlandish prices. Nope, I got it cover price, of course. Star Wars, The High Republic, number 1. And there you go. That was my January 2021 comic book haul. What do you think? What do you like? I've got a lot of reading to do. The clerk at the comic shop said, are you actually going to be able to read all of these before your next haul? Well, I'm going to give it the old college try, definitely, but we will see. Don't forget to do the thing that I said in the video to enter the contest, the giveaway, no purchase necessary. I hope you enter and win on that before the next comic haul next month. But until then, don't forget to check out my Patreon, patreon.com/vmcampos. Join for $1 to get access to exclusive stuff, such as more giveaways and other things. At the $2 range, I'll actually mail you some comic books in appreciation. Or you can simply follow for free on Patreon to be alerted to everything that I do. But let me just say that it's such an amazing feeling when I see in my inbox that Patreon tells me that there's a new patron, part of the VMC crew, at $1 and up. I totally appreciate that. As a content creator, it's a really cool feeling when we see that people like our stuff and help support us, even at $1 a month. Mere pennies a day. All those pennies help me buy all of these cool comics. So thank you for that. This has been VM Campos, and I'll see you in a galaxy far, far away.